Hi Nick, Cherise here. Just wanted to say thanks if you can give me a bit of help formulating this nursing roster. I just spoke to Justin and he suggested that I do a Camtasia just to explain what I'm trying to get across, and you can also see it. So basically, I need to roster the staff to make sure I've got all the sessions covered, obviously. But there's these extra things that are popping up, like the lab testing. So the lab testing that takes away 1 to 2 staff, and also the catch-up lab where we need all hands on deck. Now, it's becoming quite difficult working out who's at what stage in each course. Obviously, 118, the first group, they're up to cluster 5 at the moment. 119, they are up to cluster 4 and starting cluster 7. And then the new group obviously is cluster 1 and cluster 2. So you've seen the ADAA and you know when the clusters start and finish. So you've got a bit of an idea of where they're at in the scheme of things when we look at these session numbers. What I need to almost have somewhere is to see what cluster that is so I know who's teaching it, because it gets a bit confusing, particularly at the moment. So Andrea is teaching 118, cluster 5, and I will need to swing her across to 119 to teach their cluster 5, because as it stands, she needs to consolidate her teaching, what she's been doing. Anna's going to do cluster 6 for 118. So the current staffing is Julie works every day except Wednesday. Lara works Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Louise works Tuesday to Friday. Anna works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think that's everybody. Yeah. And so what I'm thinking for Andrea, who works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is she may have to move to the Tuesday to cover this cluster 5 that I need her to reteach. It's getting more and more complex. So as you can see in the timetable, which you're quite familiar with, we have these, just trying to make it fit. We have the skills testing scheduled on the timetable now. So you can see here, there's the first one, which is just basically vitals, which is session 118, 123. Then the next one's oral meds, and then the next one's IV meds, and then complex skills. We've set it up that we want these skills testing to occur on these sessions. We've written it into the lab log book that way. I just need to have a better heads up of when it's coming up. It seems to be springing on us and we're not prepared enough. And then, I almost need to be booking staff in advance because it just becomes quite taxing. Anyway, I don't care how this looks, this particular roster. If you've got some ideas on how we can make it look a bit easier to follow, it seems very busy. I'd be very grateful for any help. If you're not sure, I'm happy to have a chat over the phone. But basically, it's about capturing all the sessions, knowing when the clusters are starting and stopping, so that I can better understand what our needs are. Okay, there was a bit of a pause there because I've just had a couple of phone calls and a couple of people in the office, and I've managed to fill in a few more gaps here. So the other thing that makes it confusing is when there's self-directed learning, when there's placement, and we also, as you can sort of see, hopefully here, I need to have someone that's covering placement on any given day, so that if I'm in a meeting or whatever and something happens, that there's somebody that they can defer to at reception, or someone that can go out on that day to placement to deal with whatever's happening. So that's kind of where I'm at. There is this other document that I've had Kristen develop for me, which might be a bit hard to see, but basically I'll send you a copy. I'll send you it as an attachment, whereby you can't quite see it. So you can see this is the first cohort, the second cohort, the third cohort. And I've tried to look at it visually down the line, who's teaching what. I've just updated this for you. Obviously, the January group, I haven't got any staff allocated to that yet, so that's another headache for me. You can see the trainers, what they teach. So Andrea's teaching cluster 5. Anna's just come on and she's actually teaching, you can see here, she's teaching 7. She's just got the tail end of 1 and is teaching 7 for 119. Lara's doing 2, 3 and 4 for 119. And I'm going to bring Andrea across, I think, to do cluster 5 for 119. Yeah, that's where we're at. Julie in 219 is doing cluster 1 and then she'll do cluster 7. And then again, Lara's going to do 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so I'll send you all these documents. Have a look, see what you think. If you can help me come up with a way that I can roster this and keep track of all 3 at the same time, that would be fantastic.